Yo guys, what's going on? I'm Tim. This is the Cash Kelly AC Sports Report. Yesterday I watched just about all the games. The only game I didn't watch the entire part of was the Cowboys and the Dolphins, and I saw the second half of that game, which I basically got what happened in the game. Cowboys came back in that. Obviously the Ravens, as I predicted, beat the 49ers, and I thought that the Lions were going to beat the Packers, and that clearly did not happen yesterday. The biggest story that's come out of this, which I'm a little surprised, I guess I should have thought more about it. I didn't think too much of it when it happened, is Ndamukong Suh's stomp. Now, I'm not even going to explain it because you guys are looking at the picture, or yeah, actually I should explain it. Because I was thinking I was doing an audio-only video. Ndamukong Suh basically, and I'll show the picture before the video so you'll get to see that. He got tangled up with one guy on the Packers after a play, got pissed, and he was more on the ground. Then he took the guy's helmet, slammed it into the ground, and then after, he got up and he stomped him, basically. Now, however you want to phrase it, Ndamukong Suh stomped him. I know he said he was trying to keep his balance. Look, when you try and keep your balance, you're like this, not like this. There's no balance loss there. I don't buy that excuse at all. That's just stupid. The one thing I do want to say is this should not define Ndamukong Suh's career. He's done a lot of great things so far in his career, and he's only going to do a lot more great things, and this shouldn't define his career. Now, everyone's comparing this to the Albert Haynesworth thing a few years ago. Here's how I view that. Albert Haynesworth stepped on the guy's face. He literally, I was reading an article on thebiglead.com, some random site I found on a Google search, and Ndamukong Suh just kind of stepped on the guy, and don't get me wrong, there is nothing okay about that. But Albert Haynesworth, and this guy basically said the same thing. Albert Haynesworth took the guy's helmet off and stepped on his head. Now, let me look at this Google picture really quick. Ndamukong Suh stepping on like his stomach area. Now, is that okay? Hell no. But there's a little bit of a difference. Now, I don't know how long Albert Haynesworth should be suspended. I couldn't find how long Albert Haynesworth was suspended. I actually don't recall him getting suspended. If he was, it can't have been too drastic. I think Albert Haynesworth should be, or Ndamukong Suh should be suspended for 1 game. He did a bad thing. But I think 1 game gets the point across. 1 game for me is fine. I'll probably get 2 or 3 though, and I can't really look at that and say, oh, I'm not going to defend Ndamukong Suh for what he did, and I can't argue if they give him more than that. I don't see a reason to do that. Is he a dirty player is a thing that a lot of people have been asking me, and I'm just basically reading what I've had people ask me about this case over the past few hours. I haven't seen enough of the Lions. Now, I try to watch every single NFL game through the Sunday Ticket or whatever, or I go back and watch a little more in-depth highlights than you see on TV. But you can't see everything of every game, and I don't think I've seen enough of Ndamukong Suh. What I've learned out of him is he's a beast. Best defensive tackle in the NFL, either him or Vince Wilfork. And I think that sometimes he does do some dirty things, but the talent is so good, I think most of the times he doesn't have to do that. I don't know, I haven't seen enough of this. The one thing that the Lions cannot allow to have happen is for this to get them down and fluster them. They can't have that happen, or, you know, the Lions basically have 2 ways they could go here. They could say, we had a tough loss against the Packers, we can win the next few games and come back and try and beat them in a few weeks, or they could hang their heads, say, we're losing Suh for a game or beyond, and let this end their season. The Lions are a team that hasn't really been anywhere ever, and they really do not want to allow this to change the course of their season, but it's very possible in a young team that happens. Jim Schwartz has done a tremendous job as coach, but ultimately it's going to be up to the leaders in the locker room, and Ndamukong Suh's one of them, but the Matt Staffords, the Calvin Johnsons, the Kyle Vanden Bosches, to step up here and say, look, we got to keep going. We're still in the driver's seat for a playoff position, but 1 more loss and that can all change. The Bears with Caleb Haney could come up and take that position. Anything can really happen. I'm not going to say the Eagles because the Eagles are not beating the Patriots on Sunday. But ultimately, I think Ndamukong Suh deserves a 1-game suspension. and I'm good with that. The one thing I am pissed about this whole thing is how the media doesn't show Ndamukong Suh tangled up with the Packers player, and I think kind of getting pushed by the Packers player. They just show him falling and stomping the guy and slamming his helmet. You need to show the whole thing happening. I know you need to get it down to a certain amount of seconds for a highlight and a certain amount of minutes for your entire program, because that's how the media works. But you can't leave out an important part like that. It's not fair to Ndamukong Suh, and it's really not fair to the fans who didn't watch the game because they were at work or they were with their family on Thanksgiving, to not show them the whole highlight. So that's my thoughts on the Ndamukong Suh injury. Subscribe, hit us up on Twitter at Cash Kelly and AC, Facebook Cash Kelly, or Facebook.com/Cash Kelly and ACSR. Gmail, cashkellyandAC@gmail.com. Check out the Blitz Sports Network, or blitzsportsnetwork.com, and the Blitz Hardcore Podcast. I will be on Sunday, I believe. I was on the other night, so check that out. I'll see you guys later.